Welcome learners. The title of the today's module is Bellman-Ford algorithm. In the previous module, we learnt about the definition of digraph and we have seen an algorithm called Floyd-Warshall algorithm to find the shortest distance between every pair of vertices with an example. So, there we cannot use that algorithm if my graph has negative cycles. So, what happens if my graph has negative cycles? Do I have any other algorithm? Yes, I do. I have Bellman-Ford algorithm. In this module, we are going to discuss about Bellman-Ford algorithm to find the shortest path in the weighted digraph with negative cost. First, we will recall the definition of digraphs or directed graphs. A directed graph or digraph is a set of vertices and a collection of directed edges that each connects an ordered pair of vertices. We say that a directed edge points from the first vertex in the pair and points to the second vertex in the pair. These kinds of graphs are called as directed graph. If it has weight on every edge, it may contain positive or negative cycles. We call these kind of graphs as weighted digraph. Now, let us see how to find the shortest path of these kind of graphs with negative cycles using Bellman-Ford algorithm. So, the Bellman-Ford algorithm is an algorithm that computes shortest paths from a single source vertex to all of the other vertices in a weighted digraph. It is slower than Dijkstra's algorithm for the same problem, but more versatile as it is capable of handling graphs in which some of the edge weights are negative numbers. The algorithm was first proposed by Alphonse Schimbel in 1955, but is instead named after Richard Bellman and Lester Ford, who published it in 1958 and in 1956 respectively. Edward F. Moore also published the same algorithm in 1957, and for this reason it is also sometimes called the Bellman-Ford-Moore algorithm. Negative edge weights are found in various applications of graphs, hence the usefulness of the algorithm is you cannot explain. If a graph contains a negative cycle, that is a cycle whose edges sum to a negative value that is reachable from the source, then there is no cheapest path. Any path that has a point on the negative cycle can be made cheaper by adding one more walk around the negative cycle. In such a case, the Bellman-Ford algorithm can detect and report the negative cycle. The algorithm is the Bellman-Ford used to find the lowest cost path from every vertex to a destination of the weighted graph. We will see the algorithm now. Let Gij denote the cost of edge from I, that is arc from I to j. It is infinity if there is no arc or no edge. Let Vi is equal to cost of the shortest path. It should satisfy Vi is equal to minimum of Gij plus Vj over j. Starting at vertex I, Gij is the cost of next step. Shortest path minimizes sum of cost for next step and shortest path from where you land. Once we know V, we also know the optimal path from all initial vertices from vertex I. Move to the minimizer j. Let Vi naught is equal to 0 if I is equal to destination and that is equal to infinity otherwise. For k is equal to 0, etc. plus n minus 1, Vi of k plus 1 is equal to minimum of Vik, minimum of Gij plus Vjk. Vik is the lowest cost path from I to destination in k steps or fewer. If Vn is not equal to Vn minus 1, then the graph has negative cycle and cost may be made minus infinity. Stop early if Vk plus 1 is equal to Vk. It has n vertices, m edges. So, the complexity is big O of mn, that is it runs in order big O of mn time. We have seen the algorithm of Bellman-Ford. Now, we will see the algorithm with an example. So, consider this graph. I have taken a graph with 5 vertices, namely S, T, X, Y, Z, and with 10 arcs, and we can see each arc has weight. So, here it is a weighted directed graph, and you can see I also have negative weights and negative cycle also. So, if you consider the cycle starting from T, that is T to maybe Z, Z to 5, sorry, Z to X and X to T. Consider this particular cycle. From T to Z the weight is minus 4, and from Z to X the weight is 5, and from X to T the weight is minus 2. So, the length of this cycle is minus 1. So, here I have a negative cycle. I cannot use the Floyd-Warshall algorithm if I have a negative cycle. So, since I have negative cycle here, I can go for Bellman-Ford algorithm. I am going to find the shortest distance from a particular vertex called source vertex. So, I am going to fix some vertex here. From that vertex, I am going to find the shortest distance or shortest path to all other vertices. So, first step is I have to fix some vertex. So, here I am going to fix this particular vertex S. So, from S to all other vertices, I am going to find the shortest path as well as shortest distances. Okay, so consider this. So, here I have fixed my S. The first step is I have to assign the weight, that is a distance to the fixed vertex as 0 and all other distances as infinity. So, here I assign the distance, that is because S to S there is no loop here. I considered only the simple directed graph, simple weighted directed graph. So, of course, the distance should be 0. So, here I have assigned the distance to be 0 and all other distances to be infinity, and I have drawn the same graph with the same weights. This is our first step. So, consider the second step. In second step, we would have guessed. So, we will be finding the distances from S to this T and from S to this Y. So, let us go for the step 2. Okay. So, this is step 2. I am going to construct a graph, that is I am going to find other distances in step 2. So, consider the arc from 0. Here from 0 I have 2 arcs, namely from 0 to T, that is from S to T I have an arc, from S to this Y I have an arc. So, there are 2 arcs from S. So, listen, so this is an arc with the weight 6, with the distance 6, and this is an arc with the weight 7. So, what I am going to do is I am going to substitute distances at 6 here and 7 here, because we already had infinity in these 2 places. Comparing infinity and the numbers that we have is the minimum one. So, I am going to substitute that numbers here, which means from S to T as far as now the distance is 6, and from S to Y the distance is 7, and all other I have kept as such. Here the distance is infinity, here the distance is infinity. I haven't altered any of the things in edges as in arcs. So, this is our second step. Now, we move on to step 3. So far we have find the distances from S to T and S to Y. As far as now, the minimum distance from S to T is 6 and from S to Y is 7. So, we are going to move on to step 3 so that we can find the distance from S to X or S to Y. So, for that what I am going to do is I am going to consider the arcs that emerges from T as well as Y. So, if I consider the arcs that emerges from T and Y, I can easily find the path from S to T and followed by that particular arc. So, first consider the vertex T, and there are 1 and 2, 3 arcs emerges from the vertex T. So, consider first this arc T to Y. The weight of the arc is 8. So, if we consider the path from S to t, t to y, the actual distance will be 6 plus 8. So, 6 plus 8 is 14. So, put that 14 here, and if you consider the minimum distance, we already have 7. So, minimum is 7. So, we are not going to write this 14. So, 7 is enough here, and neglect this arc, we will consider another arc. So, consider this arc from t to x. So, if we consider this arc from t to x, we can find the distance from s to x. We can go like this, s to t, t to x. So, the actual distance would be 6 plus 5, that is 11. So, have this 11 here, and we already had infinity here. So, comparing infinity and 11, as far as now 11 is the minimum. So, have 11, and then consider another arc. Here that we have another arc from t to z. So, from t to z, the weight is minus 4. We consider the path from s to t, t to z, that will give me 6 minus 4, that is 2. Already have infinity. So, comparing infinity and 2 is the minimum one. So, I have written 2 here. So, all the arcs and paths emerges from t is over now. So, now go look at the vertex y here. So, consider all the arcs that emerges from the vertex y. So, here we have this arc from y to x, we have an arc, and from y to z we have another arc. So, first consider from y to z. Okay, so if you consider y to z, there is an arc with weight 9, and there is a path from s to z, s to y, y to z, and the weight would be greater than 2. So, here 2 is the minimum, no need to change this, 2 is enough. And go for another arc. Here I am having an arc from y to x with an weight minus 3. So, here minus 3 is the weight from y to x. So, consider the path from s to x like this, s to y and y to x, that is 7 minus 3, the weight is 4. We already had 11 here and 11 comma 4. So, out of these two values, 4 is the minimum one. So, I assigned 4 here. So, in this step what I did was, actually at the end of this step I find the weight as 4 and 2. So, from s to x, the weight, as far as now the distance is 4, from s to z the distance is 2. So, we are going to go for the next step in order to so that we can find whether we can go is there any path from s to other vertices with the minimum distance. Okay, so we assigned weights to this vertex x and the vertex z. So, here we assign 4 and here we assign 2. What I am going to do now is, as in the previous step, I am going to consider the arcs that emerges from the vertices x and z. So, from x I am having this arc from s to t, x to t I am having an arc, and from z to x I am having another arc. So, consider this from x to t. So, from x to t, that is from s to t, I can go like this. So, isn't from s I can go in this way, s to y, y to x and x to t again. So, if we consider the distance is 4 minus 2, that is 2. In the previous step I had 6 here. You can see the previous step I had 6, but right now I am having 2. So, out of 6 and 2, 2 is the minimum value. I am going to enter 2 here. So, now the value is changed. The distance is 2. That tells me I can go from s to t with the distance 2, not 6. Likewise, consider this arc that emerges from z. So, from z to x I am having an arc whose weight is 5. So, I can consider this path from s to y and y to z, z to x. If we consider this path, the distance would be 2 plus 5, that is 7, and out of 4 and 7, 4 is the minimum. So, there is no alteration here. So, this is my changed weight in step 4. You can see from s to t the weight is 2, from s to y the weight is 7, from s to z the weight is 2, and again from s to x the weight is 4 s. So, here we are going to recheck again so that we can find any shortest path from s to all other vertices. Consider now we move to the next step, that is step 5. In step 4 you can see the distance changed from 6 to 2, that is the distance from s to t is changed, and here we made use of this path from S to Y, from Y to X, from X to T. So, then only we got the distance from S to T as 2. So, here the distances is already fixed because we already consider the minimum distances from S to Y and from S to X. So, here we cannot alter this value 7 and 4. Now, as usual, consider the edges or arcs that emerges from the vertex T. So, if we consider the arcs that emerges from the vertex T, there are two arcs, the one is from T to Y, the other one is from T to Z. So, here I cannot alter, I already told you. So, in order to get this distance, I already traversed this Y already. So, I cannot touch this distance again. So, consider this arc from T to Z. So, from T to Z, if you consider the distance, that is 2 minus 4, that is minus 2. Can go like this, from S to Y, Y to X, X to T and T to Z, and the distance I am getting as minus 2. And here we already found all the minimum distances from the vertex S. Now, consider, as usual we will be considering the distance modified vertex and all the arcs that emerges from that vertex. So, consider this Z. So, here I am having an arc that emerges from this vertex Z, that with the edge 5. So, you might think, so if I add minus 2 plus 5, I will be getting 3. So, here I can replace this 4 as 3. You can think like that. But the thing is, we already reached X. Actually, consider the path from S to Y and Y to X and X to T, T to Z. We cannot go to X again. We already reached the X. So, we cannot go like this because we are in need of a path, not a cycle again. So, this I cannot change as 3. So, we found all the minimum distances. We will write the path separately and we will discuss the shortest distances. Okay, so, here my S is the source vertex or the starting vertex. From S to S, the distance is 0. So, you can see from S to S there is no loop, the distance is 0. And consider from S to T, this step 5 says the shortest distance is 2. So, from S to T, the shortest distance is 2. We will write the path now from S to Y and Y to X and X to T. I can traverse like this, from S to Y, Y to X and X to T. If you add the weights, that is 7 minus 3 minus 2, that will give me 2. Again the shortest distance is 2. So, we finish with S to T, and consider the path from S to Y. Here S to Y, the minimum distance is 7. If you consider any other path, the distance would be greater than 7. So, minimum is 7 here, and we will finish with T, Y. We have to find the path from S to X as well as S to Z. So, consider S to X. So, X to X, that is the step 5 is saying the distance is 4. So, the path is from S to Y, Y to X, that is the distance is 7 minus 3, that is 4. From S to Y, Y to X, this is the shortest path, and I have to find the shortest path from S to Z. The path is from S to Y, Y to X, X to T and T to Z. From S to Y, the distance is 7, from Y to X, the distance is minus 3, and from X to T, the distance is minus 2, from T to Z, the distance is minus 4. If you add all those things, that is 7 minus 3 minus 2 minus 4, that will give you minus 2. So, this is the shortest path, S to Y, Y to X, X to T, T to Z, and the distance we have written here, minus 2. So, this algorithm, that is Bellman-Ford algorithm, gives me the shortest distance or shortest path between source vertex to all other vertices. Conclusion. Dear learners, we are now at the end of this session. In this module, we discussed about Bellman-Ford algorithm, which we can use to find the shortest distance from a given vertex to all other vertices, even if the graph has negative cycles. We discussed this algorithm with an example. It would be even more nice if you do this algorithm with several other examples. I also encourage you to go through some quizzes and assignments which is given in this module. Thank you.